It wasn't an algorithm. You need to understand that first. The images and sounds you were shown, the cryptic numbers that appeared in your recommendations, that was a signal, a tuning fork resonating with something already inside of you. You were chosen because you are one of the few who senses that the reality we see is just a fraction of the whole story, a beautiful, hypnotic, but fragmented echo. For months, you've been collecting those echoes, feeling their power without understanding the source. Consider this video the first translation of that source. This is not another theory or a guess. This is the blueprint, the very architecture of the philosophy you've been subconsciously drawn to. What you are about to see is the key that elevates you from a mere spectator of the mystery to an active participant in its unfolding. The puzzle pieces are in your hands. Now, let's begin to assemble them.
I am often asked, what exactly do I mean when I say the word glitch? It is a question that arises just as frequently as I find myself using the term to describe the cosmos, time, and even the self. Well then, let's pause for a moment. Let's take a lyrical detour. It is time to answer. Have you ever wondered what happens the exact moment perfection cracks? I'm not talking about those theatrical fractures that edgy art flaunts so proudly, nor the carefully orchestrated flaws planted by designers who know exactly where to leave a mark. No, I'm speaking of the true error, the one that arrives uninvited, that disrupts the design, that stains the canvas with a hue not found on the palette. I'm speaking of the glitch. And here is the kicker. It's not a mistake. Or maybe it is, just not in the way you think. The glitch is the machine's vertigo when it remembers it isn't a god. It is a sneeze in the library of perfection. When things run smoothly, nobody looks. But when something breaks, every gaze freezes. There's something scandalously alive in a corrupted image, in a voice that smears, in a transmission that flickers, as if, in that moment of dysfunction, a crack opens, a window onto an elsewhere that was never meant to be seen, a backstage glimpse of the cosmos. And yet, there it is, like a typographic error revealing another word, like a false reflection telling the truth better than the mirror. The glitch is involuntary truth. It is a confession from a system that forgot its mask was still on. Does it surprise you that error might be more authentic than order? Yes, I am sure it does. But admit it, deep down, you've always known that wonder nests in the flaws. Every great vision is a beautifully failed attempt. Truth never arrives intact. In the unwritten theory of error, every glitch is an epiphany. The algorithm stumbles, chance steps in, and a spark is born. And it is dizzying, magnetic, and seductive. But be careful. Not every break is a revelation. There must be tension, a certain elegance in the error. The aesthetic glitch is not mere malfunction. It is an elegant fracture, a meaningful stumble. Like a wrong note that opens another key. Like a noise that digs into silence and extracts something that was always there, but only now becomes visible. After all, aren't you essentially an evolutionary glitch? A faulty code that learned to think? And creation itself is just a successful mistake. And you, the observer of others' errors, are simply an error observing. And there is a beautiful symmetry in that paradox. Your reality is just a fragile interface. And every now and then, in the midst of pixels, between one flicker and another, something else appears. A trace, an escape, a kind of forgotten memory that resurfaces like a glitch. You can't quite explain what it is, yet you recognize it instantly. It feels like a fragment from a dream, or perhaps a moment you feel certain you have lived through once before. The beauty of the glitch is not just formal, it is ontological. It's a beauty that doesn't want to please, that wasn't designed to exist, a beauty that resists aesthetics itself. And precisely for this reason, it enchants. It doesn't make itself understood, it makes itself perceived. It doesn't explain, it insinuates. It's beauty that's ashamed of itself, that only reveals itself by accident. But when it does, everything changes. There's a certain dark glee living in the glitch, as if the universe itself, for a moment, let itself go in an unexpected laugh. And if you stop long enough, you'll hear it too. It's the sound of truth in the wrong tone. It's the frequency of something that wasn't meant to be said, but was said anyway. We keep seeking perfection as if it were a destination, but perfection is sterile, mute, sealed. Error, on the other hand, speaks, tells, sings, opens windows. It doesn't tell you what you wanted to hear, but what you didn't know you needed. It doesn't take you where you expected to go, but where you truly belong. Every flaw is a lens. Every anomaly is a doorway. And if you see this, perhaps you've already crossed the edge where aesthetics becomes prophecy. But don't rush. Let the glitch find you. Don't chase it. Observe it when it happens. Honor it when it shows itself. Laugh with it, and let it reveal that shard of truth only the stumble knows. And then, go back, as if nothing had happened, but with eyes just a little more open. See you in the next episode.